Genesis 21. Let me read what Sarah said. She said to Abraham, get rid of that slave woman and her son, for that woman's son will never share in the inheritance with my son Isaac. Said that woman's son. The matter distressed Abraham greatly because it concerned his son. How many sons are we discussing? She says, my son, that woman's son. But Abraham says, he's my son. But God said to him, do not be so distressed about him. So God listen to whatever Sarah tells you, because it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned. Understand what I'm about to say now? So there are things that God reckons. Give me another translation. Good, this says it well. Because your offspring will be traced through Isaac. In other words, Ishmael was there. He came from Abraham's loins. And God said you make him great too. And he did. He took care of him. Remember, as the woman left, sent an angel providing water. So took care of him. However, Abraham, your story, the reason for your existence, for my calling you, is going to be traced through Isaac, not Ishmael, not Islam, Judaism. God has things he will trace your life, your calling, your purpose through. If you are wise, find it. May nothing else ever clash with the priority intention of God for your life. So I'll give an example. I'm called to be a pastor and a teacher as of now, from 20 something years ago when I was told. First, in between that time, I went on to finish a law degree and do all those things. But my life will not be traced through my legal trajectory, how much I developed my legal career. These are the things people don't know. They don't understand these things, so they waste their lives. They stand before the Lord and He tells you, yes, where's the one mina I gave you? Luke 19. He said, I buried it. Do you think that servant was lying down on his bed till his master came back? Talk to me. Do you think that servant that buried the talent in Matthew 25 and the one that buried the mina in Luke 19, do you think he was lying down on a bed? Do you think he was eating? Do you think he was eating food? Do you think he was doing absolutely nothing? He was sitting on the porch like this, looking around. Nobody can live like that. I can assure you he was doing something. He was doing everything but the one his master will ask for account for, which is what most people do till they die. And you may see them on the news. Outstanding musician, excellent virtuoso. There's not a businessman like that from my hometown. That man has money. Oh, this, oh, that. Her voice. This girl will go somewhere. And she pursues it. The problem is that her lineage, her life, the influence of her life, the fruit she's to produce was not to be traced through music. It wasn't to be traced through her cuisine. It was supposed to be traced through her ministry of exhortation. And she was to exhort and encourage women everywhere. And once in a while she will sing. Depending on her training, she might sing new songs or old songs. And when she comes there and she's supposed to spend 1 hour, a quarter of it was to be used for singing. The rest was to be encouraging. Oh, I'm just here to share with you a story of my life. I'd like you to know that Jesus did this. She goes on for 5 minutes or sings the words or whatever, and people are sitting down so moved. And she continues talking, and she's up, down, round. How will they receive her? Okay, minister, thank you so much, ma. She has children. She has 4 children. She goes home to her husband, and people are blessed, and she's just a blessing. And they call her Mrs. Sultana. Mrs. Sultana is coming to our church. That woman, she's just a blessing. And she can sing, and she can sing. But she had a choice 18 years before. She competed. She won. And then they signed her up on the record label. She has released 8 albums so far. When she comes to your church, they welcome. Let's welcome music minister. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. You sing your songs. You have about 29 of them. You just started. Yeah, the house stands. Yeah. 12 minutes later. Hallelujah. He touched me. Thank you, man of God. And she's famous. She travels around singing, doing what people want done. And you don't invite her for less than 1 million. her managers and all the other. Don't call her Mrs. anything. She's Rilan Sultan. But of course she had a name before she married, so she's not Mrs. nothing. She has a name. She's and she dresses to fit it. But her lineage, her spiritual offspring will not be traced through singing, to be traced through the ministry of encouragement. Are you listening? Oh, but she doesn't know. It's going to be when she stands before the Lord and then he says, where's the mina I gave you? And she'll inform him that she buried it because he's a hard man, does not pay people how they should. You know, all the people that gave up did what he said, like, suffered a lot. You're a hard man, sir, sorry. I couldn't do it. And he says, but I wanted you would have encouraged 1.3 million women. Out of that, 800,000 of them would have had successful marriages. They never could because you only went and sang. You sang popular songs. They liked it. While you were singing, they were happy. Once you left, their life continued pretty much how lives continue. But you could have spoken my word to them. In each meeting, you would have spent at least an hour, 30 minutes to 2, encouraging them. In between, you would have still sung. That's why I gave you that voice. Your singing would have been my word. You have taught them psalms and hymns and spiritual songs. You'd have put a melody in their hearts, not on their lips, but in their hearts. They would have been singing in their hearts, singing with grace in their hearts to the Lord. But there was no grace in their hearts. There was just a melody. Couldn't unbelievers sing a melody? And these are some of the realities that will happen in many lives. All right, so back to what God intervened in Abraham's life with the wife at that time was to point out to him, don't be so sad. You're not losing out on producing the spiritual lineage. You remember I said, you and your seed, by them all the nations of the earth will be blessed. It is through Isaac, not Ishmael. There's no lineage. Go and check. There's a short lineage of Ishmael, but it's of no real relevance. It doesn't continue. Isaac has Jacob and Esau. Jacob, Israel, who goes on to generate the 12 tribes. Everything else comes from that. Ishmael starts and ends around that same chapter. Just it's over. That's the only mention. You only hear his beginning. That's about all. But lineage, the purposes of the Almighty. This is a prayer point you all must pray. You all must discover. What is the thing through which God will reckon your spiritual lineage? When you go and give equal time to Ishmael and Isaac. Ishmael is the child of the flesh. Isaac is the child of the promise. The book of Galatians goes to give you more. Please go listen to my series on a tale of two cities.